channel over the...
Ah, dang it. Freaking thing out audio. Oh, hold up. Hold on a second. I'm bringing that's awesome. Dude, this is sweet. Yo, frick the stream. Frick the normal stream start. Look at that. Oh, I don't hate that. The gun should be down in a sailing position, though, I'm pretty sure. Oh.
The rudder or of our screws, our tugboats are doing all of that work for us. Throughout today, we are showing you what our tugboats look like as they come into frame. Right now, they are the closest one to us is pretty far off our starboard side, so not quite.
Oh man!
John F. Kennedy on our starboard side there. Hello.
Oh, she's
the ballast water will
she's a good ways down the river.
This point in the
There's
river,
the Kennedy.
Brackish or so. So it's going to be removed and cleaned out to make sure that none of that salt continues to corrode inside of our tanks. The ballast water is going to go into tanks on the forward part of the ship. It's actually specifically
They're going to fire the guns, not the 16 inchers, though? Oh. Heading to Paulsboro for ballasting first. Bro, they should turn the ship on. They should wake her up. She needs to be woken up. She hasn't been woken up in a little while. A blank for a 16 would be huge. It's just 4 powder kegs, dude. Just put the powder kegs in there. It'll be fine. So, where that picture was is right there. The Kennedy is right. See it right there? That's where the street. That's where the New Jersey is right now. So, just in case you're wondering, what is this? This is an Iowa-class battleship, the last dreadnoughts to be made. The New Jersey served in the U.S. Navy from the end of World War II, off and on until the Gulf War. It was in Korea. It was in World War II. It was in Korea, Vietnam, Cold War, Desert Storm. It was everywhere. Which is so freaking cool, dude. It was the only battleship in Vietnam. Yeah, it was used to shell targets inland. Oh, that's cool, man. Look at the Kennedy right there. I've been on that vessel. Been on that ship. Not served on it, just been on it. It has rather girthy guns. Those are 16-inch Cal 50 Mark 7s. 405 millimeters for the metric folks. It's a, let's see. It would probably be a 1,300 kilogram, 1,400 kilogram shell, 2,700 pounds. The shell weighs more than a Volkswagen Beetle. It's so freaking cool, dude. That's so special.
Seasick just looking at ships, and I haven't noticed at all. You will get to see the keel in our videos once we get her out of the water. So expect to start seeing that probably not next week. She'll be high and dry late next week, so it might be the week after before you really get to see that keel. So look forward to that. The smaller boats that are alongside us, some of them are police boat escorts and the Coast Guard escorts that are with us. And we've been trying to keep...
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Spectator boats at a distance. So that's what the some of those boats are for. The carrier that we are passing...
Let's see if we get a shout out,
that
dudes.
is John F. Kennedy. She is a decommissioned aircraft carrier slated for the...
Uh-oh. Yeah, see? The stream didn't like that. Stream didn't like you saying it was going to be scrapped.
Or at least the Kennedy. We have a few other boats here in the yard. So the Philadelphia Navy Yard is actually it's definitely water, just to be clear. It's water. The Philadelphia Navy Yard, while no longer primarily operated by the Navy itself, it's primarily a private yard. The Navy still has a presence here, which is why we see a lot of these decommissioned ships waiting.
It's being run on cell signal. Ah, they should have called DOS.
Philadelphia Navy Yard is an excellent example of a public yard going private.
Navy should still use it. AbrahamLincoln.jpg. Sorry. The JFK is being scrapped. They tried to make it a museum up here, Nader, because it's the last carrier that could be a museum. CV-67. No CVN. So it's a shame that they scrapped that. They scrapped the Saratoga. The Kitty Hawk. Those ships could be great museums, dude, but nope. Nope. But we got another JFK, CVN-79, so that's pretty cool. Awesome stream, though. That's really cool. So, hey, on a side note, good thing we didn't get up for Soyuz. Soyuz aborted. It had an abort. T-minus 20 seconds. Yeah, they said niet. This is the Navy that scrapped the original Enterprise carrier. Yeah. I don't know. So, Thomas, you said this thing's going down to Paulsboro, down here for ballasting. So that's probably somewhere along here. Steve, I'm doing good. How you doing? We just saw a stream of the New Jersey making its way down the Philly River. They're taking the New Jersey into dry dock for maintenance. The New Jersey, now it's a museum ship, but it's also a freaking battleship, man. Look at that freaking thing. But it does need to be maintained. Sitting in the river all day is not the best thing for it. Bro. What a freaking monster. So, this is the New Jersey, just for the people that don't know. It's an original World War II battleship. It served in World War II, served in Korea, served in Vietnam, served all the way to Desert Storm. All the way to the end of the Cold War. 50 years, a good 50 years of commissioned service. Well, it was off and on. It got refitted. All 4 of the Iowa battleships were recommissioned in the 80s, believe it or not. Not a lot of people know that. The New Jersey was serving off and on the entire time, right? But the Iowa, and the Missouri, and the Wisconsin, its 3 sister ships, weren't. They were mothballed for a little while. The Iowa was, the Iowa itself was the namesake. The lead ship of its class was mothballed a little until like 5 or 10 years ago when they made it a museum ship in Long Beach. That's actually where I started Route 154. For the people that don't know, I started it with a shot of the Iowa. But here's the thing. These ships were all taken out of mothballs in the early 80s and gutted and refit and modernized. If you notice, the New Jersey has these little boxes here. See those guys? Little boxes. And they removed some of the 5-inch Cal 38 Mark 38 gun turrets. There should have been 5 of them. They took 2 of them out and replaced it with a missile rack, which is pretty freaking cool. It's a modernized battleship. So a battleship that can fire missiles and shell targets at the same time. It's actually a pretty awesome capability, which, quite frankly, I think we should still have, but what do I know? I think those are Tomahawks and Harpoon, or no. I think those are Tomahawk missiles, and those are Sea Sparrows, if I'm looking at that right. I don't know. It's hard to tell from the photogrammetry. And once again, I used to know all this stuff cold, but they just sounded the horn. Cool. What would a new battleship look like? I don't know. About 10 minutes they had an abort. Rocket not defueled or anything. They saved the emergency escape system before defending. Weird. The angled tubes are harpoons. Boxes are tomahawks. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they put a Sea Sparrow on this thing or not. I know there's a Sea Whiz on this thing somewhere. Oh, yeah, there's 2 of them. Mid-ship right there. Anti-missile defense. See those 2 things right there? And then it's cool because they modernized and upgraded the fire control systems for the turrets, too. So that's cool, man. See that little thing right there is the control system. The targeting, basically that's the gun sight for 1, 2, and 3. And then the photogrammetry is not doing me any favors. It's that thing right there. That thing right there is the gun sight for 1 and 2. See that? And then on the port side of the ship, that is the FCS. That's the gun sight for 1, 2, and 3. All these turrets are linked together. You can link them together and you can relay targeting information to the turrets. Or they can operate independently. But there's a primitive computer in these things. In World War II, it was a mechanical computer that looked like a refrigerator. Fun fact. And then over here, this guy, that little guy right there, is your aft fire control system. That thing is relaying targeting information to the number 3 turret. See that? That's the computer. That's the brains for that thing. Hey, mechanical computers, you can't hack them. Just saying. What a beast mode of a freaking ship. So cool. Yeah, at the aft end, there used to be 2 40mm gun sponsons right here. That's what these 2 things are. They replaced all that in the 80s with a helicopter pad. Yeah. I don't know if you guys... That's kind of strange, right? A battleship with a helicopter landing on it? That's a little weird. It's not a picture you get in your head very much, huh? All right. Anyway. So we're going to play workers here for a little while until the CRS-30 launch. The CRS-30 launch should be happening at 4:55. Now, Electron did go last night. I fell asleep. I tried to stay up, but I did have to be responsible and go to bed. So I took a nap for a little while, and then I tried to get up for it, and I fell asleep before it launched because it entered a huge hold last night. Something went weird with it, but they did launch it, and it was a completely successful mission, which is pretty good. The funny thing is, like, I was debating getting up for Soyuz, like, and I'm really happy that I didn't because it aborted. Saluting gun is being fired. All right. With the technology that exists for artillery, they should totally bring back big guns. Dude, a digital fire control system for a battleship turret? Yeah. You could place, dude, sub-meter accuracy for the 2,700-pound shell all day. Like, those computers... The mechanical computers on that battleship for the fire control systems to calculate... I mean, they do calculus, dudes. The mechanical computers on that thing make the Apollo guidance computer look like a quantum computer. So for whatever reason, my mouse is not going back to workers here. I watched Electron was a good standard launch. Awesome. It sucks, of course, because it was a clear night. I went out at 2:30 in the morning. I went outside into the backyard, and the sky was super clear.
Discovery.
And then it held. It was really cold here last night. So, okay. There we go. Poopy Pants! Nonsense, Poopy Pants! Thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. With a 300-foot crater, do you need that much accuracy? All I know is, people can fly little drones, and those drones could drop munitions, but you could shoot a drone down. You're not stopping a 2,700-pound shell. There's not anything that's going to stop that. Ship 29 is heading to the pad tonight for static fire testing. All right. Dude, there's a lot of stuff going on. Kind of bummed that I missed Electron, but hey. Whatever, we got CRS-30. CRS-30 is slated to go off at 4:55, so I figure we'll play this for a couple hours, and then we'll watch the launch, talk more about space, and we'll go from there. I wanted to do Starship stuff to start the stream today, but we don't really... We're in a time crunch because of all the launches, and I had some real-life stuff that I had to do. So, yeah, sorry for being a little bit late. So, I figure we'll just jump into workers. I was driving on the roads today, guys, and I'm sorry, because of this stupid game, I just noticed I look at all the big rigs, and I look at and see what all the big rigs are hauling. I saw all kinds of construction equipment being hauled around, and I'm like, we gotta. Anyway, Poopy Pants, thank you for the sub. Imgram, what's up? Hello, we did the Battle of Britain today with your students. We had a massive digression about the Christie suspension and its role in creating the Cromwell in the T-34. Nice. All right. Nerd. Hey, Yumfood, what's up? Say if there's 100 drones coming, what do we do? Shotguns. Lots of them. Audrey, what's going on? Stationeers had an update? That's cool. Sweet.
Discovery, go at throttle.
How's this for an update? My stupid train works. I grounded out last night and we got the train operational and we're actually in the green. Yo, Older, what's up, man? Hope you're well. 11-month resub. I'm doing fine. That's not my problem. How is workers? I'll let you know in a second. We just started. 100 drones is good clay shooting targets. There you go. Pull! You know. So, we got a small grain train going here to export the 2,200 tons of grain, and then we're about to have the 1963, well, we're planting for 1963, and I have a lot more trucks ready to go here for sowing, and then I have extra trucks waiting in the wings here. I bought 13 trucks, extra trucks to help with harvesting. I basically doubled the amount of trucks that we have. So we should be able to get a much higher yield. For 1962, we got about 3,200 tons. The maximum yield from all these fields is over 6,000 tons, especially since I've added more fields now, which is good. Good. But yeah, we got the loop going. The loop's ready to go. Train's ready to go. Yeah, Nabak, I just had the live stream up. I gotta be careful, dude. I don't have permission to restream it, so I just showed it for a second. But you guys definitely keep me in the loop of what's going on. I know they just fired the saluting guns, which is sweet. Hey, drummer. Now, I'm looking to buy more cars so we can have a longer grain train. It's communism. Sorry, just got here. Yeah, all good, man. All good. Yeah, no problem. No need to apologize. It's fine. Is the farm strat panning out as you'd hope? It took just a little bit longer than I anticipated, but for the most part, yeah, we're right on target. I said we'd be good for the 1962 harvest for export, and we are. It's just, I'd say we're like just a little, like maybe 1 or 2 months behind my original projection, which is better because the last time I projected a project to be finished, I projected it would be finished in 1968, and it was 1971 when we finished it. So I've gotten my accuracy for project management in this game down from 3 years to 2 months, 2 to 3 months, which is preferable. Yeah, I'm starting to get a good grasp on how long it takes to do this stuff. That's a hell of a 5-year plan. Yes. And then we also have fields over here as well. I made 5 more. We have 29 fields now. That should be good for 8,700 tons every year. We need more, believe it or not. We need more fields, and I'm gonna have to riddle this countryside with fields. I found the game you wanted. It's like Cities plus Anno, but not so hard like Workers and Resources. Why would I want a game that's less difficult to play? Oh, that's kind of cool. That looks good, but neat. How will the trucks help with harvesting? Well, the harvesters can harvest the fields pretty fast. The trucks need to haul this back to the farm for the grain silos. That's how they're going to help. They'll help actually pull the crops that we harvested. Because before Violent, we had I probably left about 2,000 tons of crops on the table. Like when it started snowing in winter, all the crops that we had queued up didn't get harvested. Now, don't get me wrong, they actually really made the field, they boosted our field fertility like something fierce here. Some of these fields have really, really great fertility. They're gonna make, our yield is gonna be really good this year. But that's because our yield was bad last year. Build some distribution offices. For what, Drummer? Why? I'm confused. I have DOs right here for harvesting. Yeah, field harvest pays it forward. Yeah, that's super freaking cool. Where's the train? Oh, there it is. Yep, the train is working. And actually, we should have enough to get another boxcar here. I'm wondering if we could buy a switcher locomotive so I can stage the boxcars here. Is that... What is that thing? The pig or whatever? No, it's gone. What's the cheapest one? The CME2. Yeah, that's a switcher locomotive, I think. What do we have on the NATO side of things? Nick, add time. Okay. Just because Nick can. Well, I rolled a 9. What did you roll? You rolled an 8. Well, you can and you lost. Deal with it. Ray! Mr. Scambates with the raid. What's going on, Ray? How you doing? Welcome, Raiders. What's going on, guys? Got Paul Scambates. Scambait Raider. Really funny streams, actually. Good times. Ray, thank you very much for the raid, dude. I really appreciate it. I like watching my train do its thing. Double or nothing? Ain't no double or nothing. This is my stream. House always wins, baby. It's got a cooldown, Nick, yeah. So, I did get my blocking signals figured out last night too. I think I got this set up pretty good. It's pretty decent. It's not the best, but I redid the signaling here from what was in the stock game to omnidirectional signals. Yeah, that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, it's not bad. It's working. Your time off work starts tomorrow. 3 weeks off. Ah. Oh, nice, Drummer. There you go. I want a block right there. Yeah. So yeah, the train's just doing its thing, and we started making some pretty decent cash here. It's about $5 grand a trip, which is why I'm looking to invest in a boxcar here. So, you know, we want to increase our throughput here. So covered hauls. Or no, covered wagon. 5077 boxcar right there. Pretty good. I think I'm gonna buy one, and I think I'll use the train. So, stop the train for a second. Go here. Go here. Load. Cargo wagon. And then I need you to go to the depot after that. Flip the direction on the train. Unpause. Get another boxcar. Remember, you want to match the speed of the cars with the locomotive. Oh. I did not realize that that was a thing. Oh yeah, that's right. You can only pick up one freaking car from this at a time. I want to buy another locomotive. We don't have the money. No, drummer, this small depot only picks up one consist at a time. I don't know what the hell that's about. Like, unless I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, I'll drop the other cars at the depot and we'll go grab it. Is this game like Transport Fever? Nathan, it's Transport Fever mixed with Factorio mixed with City Skylines. Yeah. It's a hard game to play. Like, you need production lines for your industry. Right, like these are blueprints right here for stuff that I haven't made. So my farm is going to output, see those things are basically conveyor belts. Right? Like you'd see in Factorio or Satisfactory. My farm, right now they're sowing the fields. That's what that is. When it's time to harvest, they'll go out there. You'll get combine harvesters out there. Right, you can see what I have in the queue here. I have a lot of combine harvesters and tractors to sow the fields and then trucks to haul the crops, right? The combines are going to harvest everything. The trucks will move it to the farm, and the farm will conveyor it into this grain silo. Now, this grain silo right here, the one that's next to the train tracks, that one is used for grain export. Eventually, I'm going to have crops get distributed evenly here on that conveyor belt in a 50-50 split to this grain silo. This grain silo is connected to a food factory, a distillery for making alcohol. You can use crops to make denim and fabric, and then you can make clothes from that as well, right? And then there's conveyor belts that go to each factory, right? So what my plan is to have such a ridiculously high crop output that we can export crops in bulk for cash. Right? That's what getting more boxcars for the train is about. And then once we have enough to be able to, like, I'm talking about being able to fill up these grain silos, which each have 11,000 ton capacity. We can fill up 11,000 tons for export and 11,000 tons for domestic business, right? The domestic business can make food and whatever, and then we can export the surplus of this for more cash. Like, we can export for clothes and everything, right? And all the while, I can export in bulk, right? And then we can make money, and then we can use that money to grow this city over here. But yeah, dude, like I said, Factorio, Transport Fever, and Cities kind of all rolled into one. It's an extremely difficult game. Like, see everything that's in here? All the vehicles that are working on the farm? I had to buy every single one of those. And the cool thing is that it's like buying trucks and stuff. Like, those are all real vehicles. They're all real vehicles that existed in this game. So I have a bunch of Mack trucks, which have the best power plant. They're the most powerful, right? Hauling crops around because I know they'll do it fast, right? And then, like, in my construction depot, we have a bunch of Soviet trucks. But these are all, like, those are Tatras. Tatras are Czech trucks. They were actually, this is all real trucks. So, Nathan, this game's like truck procurement simulator, and you know that scratches the itch for me. I love trucks. How are you doing today? How's the save going? Crop export working. Yes, it is. So, but Nathan, here's the thing. It ain't just trucks. You can buy helicopters and airplanes in this if you build runways. Oh yeah, it's not just trucks and trains. You can buy ships, you can buy planes. Like over here, this is a helicopter pad that came on the map. We have Big Dog right there, which is a Mil 6. But look at some of this. So like, there's a Sikorsky right there, and then we have a HIP. So the Mi-8, Mi-4, Mi-6. Like, the Mi-6 is what I have there already, but there's helos, and you can fly the helicopters around. They can move people and passengers or bulk materials around. You'll get the Sky Crane eventually, the CH-54. So yeah, I haven't even dived into planes, but from what I can tell, some of the planes that you can get in this game, you can get a Cessna 172, Cessna 410. You can get a bunch of Soviet planes. I'm not sure about all the details, but dude, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can get. Keep in mind, I have the difficulty settings cranked all the way up. You don't need to play this game like on super realistic mode, but I like doing that. Okay, Vasia, 2 news about cities. What's up? Two things about cities too. First, during today's stream, the devs showed that it is possible to create non-square tiles for custom maps. Okay. Second, they posted a dev diary about modding, and it was pretty interesting read. TLDR, modding support is going to be excellent. Good. Good. Good, good. Yeah, Nathan, this game scratches the itch, dude. What I like about it is that if you want to build tracks or anything in this game, you're going to need resources, and you're going to need manpower. Where does it come from? If I want to build this track, I have a railway construction office with a track building train, and you have to make sure that it has the resources to go and make that damn thing. Right now, I'm telling this locomotive here to go pick up a boxcar. Yeah, it has a Tupolev 144 if you like flying around pieces of junk. Yeah, when modding support opens up for cities, dude, I'll ping Cuboid and we'll see. Yeah, see, this thing is cool. It's a TZM2 or T3M2, depending on how you look at it. 3 is Z in Russian. So TZM2, that is based off of an Alco RSD, so which is cool. I like it. Alco is was my favorite American locomotive manufacturer. It's right in the name. They made the Union Pacific Big Boy, like 4000 series steam locomotives. Yeah, same company. And that thing, the TZM2, is a license-built version of it. So that's a Alco RSD, which I'm okay with that. But I would really want the EMD that I don't have the money for them, but there's an EMD G16, G12, and G8, which are fantastic locomotives. Those things are super good, but we don't have the cash for them right now. Soon, though. Soon. Yeah, rig. The Big Boy's amazing. 6,000 horsepower. Because what do you want to move? Yeah. Yes, that's what I want to move. Yeah, we definitely sowed the fields a lot faster. I have way more tractors than I did before. I want to wait and see for what they do over here. No, there's a mod for the Big Boy Yens, but no, not in the stock game. Gives you the fizz. Yeah, you know, the fizz. In the meantime, I have my construction teams working on getting the drainage, all the drainage ready to go for the city. We can tell them to do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, and that. This stuff right here, those are water lines. See the stuff that's filled in, that's not like neon green? That's stuff that's already built. Probably should tell them to make that, huh? It's just a sewage switch. Let's be honest, the Dash 9 is the best loco ever made. I'm more of an SD40 kind of guy. Dash 9s are good. I like Dash 9s. Yeah. Here, hold on.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Jizzlefa, 7-month resub. Thank you. I like SD40s. I think I'm partial to Alcos, dude. I love Alco. RSDs are... But... Dash 9... Dash 9 is... very good. You want to see some of the cargo trains we have in Australia, kilometers long? Yeah, Rig. Yeah, your train network, like ours, is based around freight. You know, you have a lot of land to traverse, just like we do. Right? Dude, the U.S. has an amazing railroad network. That's not, and so does Australia. Like, a lot of people don't know this, right? But it's just built for freight. It's built to move stuff around, not people. Dash 9 is pure filth. Hey, Ein, what's going on? What is the strategy for today? Unfortunately, I'll have to catch the VOD because I have to run to a union meeting in an hour. But I've been addicted to the workers' content. Glad you're still enjoying it, too. GP40, though. Yes, GP40. The AK-47 of locomotives. You can't kill it. It won't die. It just keeps existing. That's a good point. There's still GP40s and GP38s everywhere. They haven't made them in years, dude. They're still everywhere. Still on the job, baby. That's how we build stuff. That's how we build things, dog. Yeah, the bubble roof lavatory. That's cool. Yeah. GP40s and GP38s. They're great locomotives. Yeah. That's how we build things. I didn't want to go there, Havocs. No. Hey, lead by example. That's how we build things. Like, Havocs, I don't want to necro this discussion, but, like, you know what, dude? We can sit here and say, well, we should build things like that. We're going to make them like they used to. All right, fine. Make it like they used to then. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of over just sitting here acknowledging the problem. Let's just go and do it. That's why, like, when I build something in this, when I, you know, like, my craft, dude, I'm going to be damn good at it. Whatever we're making is going to be amazing. You know, I put 150% effort, 154% effort into whatever I'm doing. You know, lead by example, right? You want to go back to doing that? That's what we got to do. Because it's nice. I like building stuff that works. Yeah, I'm kind of like, let's be a part of the solution. Let's not be a part of the damn problem. You know, but yeah. That's how we build things. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the circumstances. Let's get back to doing that then. Hellfish, I don't think this is any time for jokes. Check this out though. My grain train's moving 300 tons a pop now. That means if we... Yeah. If we get this up to 10 cars, we could move 10 Gs a pop. That would be very nice. Actually, I think 8 cars would do us right. You should put a Barra in your truck. I love Barras, dude. Barras are amazing. The only problem is you ain't finding parts for one over here. And if you do, it's some bozo that's like, well, this is the real deal engine. You know, okay, a Barra with 300,000 Ks on it. No lowballers. I know what I have. It's 10 grand for the motor. Believe me, I've looked around. Barras are few and far between over here, and that's a damn shame. How big is the map? I'll go from one side of the map to the other. So, this is one side of the map. It's pretty big, dude. You got a lot of space. It's Soviet Republic, not Soviet City Builder. Can you plant trees? Of course. That impression was spot on. Well, I got a Barra. It got given to me. I don't have any use for it. What? Yeah, 10 grand. It's got 300,000 kilometers on it. Yeah, I know, 10 grand. You can't get these over here. It's like, ever stop and think that you might be the reason why? Yeah, Rig, they're good motors, man. Ford made an inline 6 over here, Rig. Not like the Barra, though. We had an inline 6 that was 4.9 liters. It was bigger than a Barra, dude. They made that until 1998. Yeah, from like 1962 to 1998. They made it for 30 years. It's a great engine. The Ford 300 is amazing. Great motor. But it never... Dude, it doesn't have a cross flow head. It's a reverse flow head. It's single overhead cam and block. It's nothing like the Barra, which is just a damn shame. I think they called it a 4.9 because they didn't want two engines at 5.0. Yeah, for the most part. Jeep is making a 4-liter inline 4, right, for the Wranglers? Jeep made a 4-liter inline 6 for the longest time. Actually, it was American Motors. It's a 242 cubic inch engine. So 4-liter. They made a 4-liter inline 6, but once again, reverse flow head, single overhead cam, or not even an overhead cam. It's just a pushrod engine. Don't get me wrong; those are cool. It's just the reverse flow heads are just. Bro, what year is it? They were making that into the 90s, dude. Yeah, Petros, I don't mind getting paid like what you want and then making a little bit off the top, but these guys don't understand that they're killing the freaking market. You know what I mean? You want to make 100% profit off of this thing. You know, you got the motor for $1,000, you're going to sell it for 10 because you know people want it. Well, guess what? People ain't going to buy it, and earthquake. There's no earthquake. Like, it's just like how, like, you know, the car auctions that you see on TV, like Meekum and stuff. Don't get me wrong, they're cool, but they inflate the prices of all these vehicles, you know? So it makes it harder for somebody to pursue this hobby. So they can't get mad when they don't get 10 grand for something that they're trying to sell because no one can freaking afford it. Can you build an Chernoblyat? No. But anyway, I'm done whining. What did I just say about being part of the problem? Screw that. I'm not doing that no more. Let's just lead by example and go from there. All right, so what's on the docket today? I want to really see if they can get all the fields sowed. We definitely are sowing the fields a lot faster than we were. I want to see if we can get all 29 fields up and running. I'm not sure. Your link has bearers for 2,300 bucks. Dude, I'd put a Barra in the 59. That would be awesome. That would be a really cool little build. Yeah, if I could find a Barra for the right price, I'd love to put that in the 59. That'd be amazing. 20 bucks for a Barra rig? Oh boy. Ever seen UP 6915 up close? I'm not even sure what locomotive that is. Oh, it's a DD40. Yeah. No, I've never seen one up close, but I know what it is. DD40s are insane. Oh, you reminded me. That's what my favorite locomotive of all time is. Hold on. The G-Tel. That's my favorite locomotive. Is it diesel? No. Is it electric? Kind of. Does it have a jet engine in it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jet engine. That's my favorite. Because turbines. This thing has basically a 747 engine in there behind that Union Pacific. It's a 747 engine that runs off Bunker C. It makes insane amounts of power. Yeah, turbine electric, baby. Oh. Oof. I firmly believe, dude. I think if we're I'm not the biggest fan of hybrids, but if we're gonna do hybrid, turbine electric is where it's at. Diesel is good. Diesel electric is fantastic. We know that works. Turbine electric could take us to the next level. What about the big boy? The big boy is probably second to the G-Tel, Katra. Yeah, that's the 4000. They're called the Challenger class, 4000 series. Or no, not the Challenger. Challenger is 3000 series. Big boy is the 4000 series, excuse me. You Americans like to put turbines on everything. Cars, tanks, locomotives. It's because turbines are awesome, dude. No, they're really good at generating power. Like, really good. Better than a diesel engine. Actually, there's an asterisk to that. It's application-based. For a locomotive that's going to need a lot of power for a long period of time, or like a semi-truck, makes perfect sense. Right? Not necessarily for like a car. Big boy's the best steam locomotive. You can't tell me otherwise. No, we're in agreement. It's not even a judgment call, Sneaky. It's like, yeah, no, not even, yeah. Turbines are also great at consuming fuel, but they generate tons of power, dude. You get a turbine electric with a big battery to store that extra power from all that fuel being burned off. I'm telling you, turbines are one of the most efficient ways to generate power. Way more efficient than a diesel engine. Problem is, they generate a lot of power all the time. So for like a generator, like what you'd find on a diesel locomotive or on a semi-truck or something, they're perfect. Not so much for a car, though. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Yeah, exactly, Helios. Yeah, exactly. I don't think... Dude, I'm telling you, people make turbines. People make jet engines out of turbochargers. Right? People make jet engines. They make turbojets from turbochargers from cars by adding the combustor. You know, between the... Because this is just a radial compressor as opposed to an axial compressor, right? Dude, if you took something like this and you retrofitted a turbine wheel, right? Back here, stator-mounted turbine wheel, right? And you put an alternator behind that, and you make an annular nozzle and put an alternator inside of that, and then have the wires go out a stator. Put that in a car. Put that in an electric car. You want to charge your car in 5 minutes? It's a good way to do it. Jet engine doesn't need to be on all the time. You want to fully charge your car in a couple minutes? That's a good way to do it. Get an RV alternator. Like a 70, 80 amp alternator. Even a 100 amp alternator, like off a semi-truck, dude. You'd charge your battery real quick. 15, 20 minutes. Just saying. Turbine electric. Not a bad idea. Turbine doesn't need to be going all the time. Just use it to charge the batteries. Charge that car real quick. Is your turbo broken? No, I was talking about it, so, you know. Anyway, look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that money go. We're actually profitable. This little half freaking crazy thing is actually profitable. Yes! Yeah, no, Aqualex, we could do some magic with it, with turbines. Just saying. Nuclear powered train with small reactor. If you can control the rad shielding, I think that would be a very good idea. Alright. So, what else do we need to do? Hey, Fundingo, what's up? I've basically been in a holding pattern here. Getting the crop yield higher is basically what we need to do. We just got to keep building. We got to keep building up here. So, guys, what do you think we should do next? Should I... Okay, so let's think about this for a second. The train is working, and I'm just really happy with this huge W here. It does... Honestly, we're going to need more cars. We would need to export in bulk a lot faster. And we have to... The big thing is we got to make sure our crop yield is good. What's the fertility rate here? Minimum is 39. Oh, nice. They're sowing out here. Fantastic. Excellent. I told them to make that bridge. Might want to switch to rubles for export. We're getting low on cash. I want to build up NATO money so we can get another boxcar. So when we get the mass influx of crops here, Violent, we have a train that can basically haul. Like, I would love to be able to haul 1,000 tons at a time. That's just 6 trips for the train. You know what I mean? Is there a function to convert currencies? Not at face value, Hellfish. You can buy stuff, you can broker stuff between the borders. I don't know exactly how to do that, I'll admit. Did you buy more trucks to support the harvest? I absolutely did. Yep. Oh yeah. Just alternate between the two in the train pathing? Okay. Yeah, Shelbert, I guess you can do that, huh? Yes, did you buy more AKs and walls? Yes, look at all these boxcars. Boxcars have nice walls. They come with 4 walls per boxcar. So you're now Kenisatsuki. I don't know who that is. Real too close to sun with boxcar. Yeah, right. It's so screwed up, dude. But part of making sure that that doesn't happen again is knowing that it happened in the first place, right? Like, sucks. It's Kansas, but Russian. Yep. So the other thing that we're working on is getting gravel, getting domestic gravel. I think we should do that. I really gotta focus on not being import reliant. Like, we do gotta build into that. Power plant is a big cash cow. So I think while that train's doing its thing, well, I don't know. Should we? Hey Chris, what's up, buddy? You ready for CRS 30? CRS 30. Can you believe that? 30. There've been 30 uncrewed dragon missions, 29 uncrewed dragon missions to the ISS. I remember when COTS 1 launched. That was not that long ago, man. I still don't get the signal thingies. Like, all right. The colors are really good at understanding this. So, Nader, keep in mind my definition probably isn't the best. From what I can understand, the signal logic in this game works like traffic lights. It's traffic intersections. See that green right there? That's a block of track. The green section. Basically, if any train is in any part of the green section, if another train is in the orange or the blue sections, right? And it gets to here, even if there's a train right here, that signal is going to stop it. The reason why is because I have a crisscross here. That's a complicated intersection, right? So how do you block stuff? Mixed signals, definitely do it. Mixed signals are the way to do it. So basically for every segment of track, all right, let's take something that I don't have switched, right? So we have 2 tracks right here that we're going to be building in the future. 2 right-of-ways that go into 1 right-of-way. Obviously, if 2 trains are coming down the track, whatever enters this intersection first, I want the other train to stop, right? Obviously, you don't want that. That would be bad, right? So, let's put a signal like this. That's called a mixed signal. The mixed signal is a signal that works in both ways. I mean, you have a signal for this block, but where the double line is what that signal's going to throw. So now, we have a block right here. We made that orange, right? But I want it to just be for the switch. See, you basically point the double arrows at each other like this, and now it's going to do logically exactly what I said. Like, it's kind of annoying. I could probably figure out a better way to do all this. There's just signals everywhere. They're just everywhere. But it's okay. So, like, watch. This train has the green, and when it enters the green, that block that I was talking about, red. That's all. It's just so no trains run into each other. That's how the logic works in this game. I always stop when I get mixed signals. Yeah, you don't want that. Mixed signals, big red flag. Yeah, violent. Yeah. The gravel plant is something that we should figure out, and we do need to start working towards getting our food plant ready to go, and that means getting that grain silo ready to go. It's better to do it now before prices inflate out the wazoo. I'm just not sure. Well, no, we're getting income from the crops. It's about What if I want two trains running on the same track with little side thingies where the train can wait for another to pass? A spur. So you would link the signals together. In that, here, I'll do out some basic logic. At least this is to my knowledge. Guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. So you want something... You want something like that, right? And if one train is coming down the track, you want it to stop. Like if one train is coming this way, you want that train to do that. All right, here, check this out. So what I would do is block that and block that. So now this is its own thing, logically. Now you're going to need chain signals, right? Chain signals can go directionally. You set the direction. Like that. See what I'm talking about? This signal is going to look at this signal. So, like, see the magenta? The magenta is going to talk to the yellow in this design. Because I have chains. These are all chained together. Right? I showed her the EMD-FT diesel electric locomotive. She didn't respond. So, yeah, force the one-way logic like that with a chain signal. And you could, like I said, you click on the signal again. That should do it. I'm not the best at this, Nader. It's a little bit counterintuitive from what I can tell, but that would be the way to do that. Yeah, it's just, railroading is just logic, dude. Believe it or not. It's logic. Like, believe it or not, some of the first computing came from railroad logistics. Actually, software engineering. Part of the reason why software engineering exists, as we know it today, was, from a bunch of dudes playing with model trains and trying to figure out the logic governing the model trains so they don't crash into each other. True story. That's how hacking was invented. Or like the idea of hacking into things. Yeah. Guys playing with model trains. No joke. Have you not played Factorio yet? I do it out of scariness because this game is like Factorio and I got addicted to it without even trying. I know I would get addicted to Factorio, so I've been purposely avoiding it. Probably easier just to make separate blocks for each junction so each can be used both ways. I think you're misunderstanding the double arrow signals. Chain signals stop a train from proceeding unless there is a fully open path to the next arrow signal. Yeah, once again, Jungle, I don't understand it fully. I'll admit I'm not the best at it. I think I would need to add another signal in that design. And like I said, that's what I mean. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't understand this fully yet. All I know is that you really have to cut make everything into its own section. Anytime you have an intersection, make it into its own thing with mixed signals, and it should be good. I did play it once on stream, RJ, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. Made some money. Wait. Yeah, okay, 102 is right. Oh, okay, the month transferred over. Because I was looking at May of 1963 and then June. I'm like, the train just got there. How do we only make 225 rubles? We didn't. It was exporting when we crossed over from May into June. Have you talked about the crazy engineers going out to the pad of the aborted Soyuz? Aborted and still fueled Soyuz. Fully fueled rockets are super safe to be around, Fish. It's just a little unnerving. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. And this isn't just crazy Russians doing crazy Russian things. I would stand next to a fully fueled rocket. That's okay. Once a rocket is into a top-off cycle with fueling, whatever, no problem. I would not be near a rocket when it's being fueled. There's a reason why SpaceX goes into Section 6 on their launch checklist, right? And arms the launch escape system before fueling. Fueling the rocket is the dangerous part. You can be near a rocket when it's got no fuel in it. That's fine. You can be near a rocket when it's fully fueled. That's fine. I don't want to be there when it's fueling. That's the dangerous part. Fully fueled rockets, you could stand right next to it. It's not a big deal. The reason why is because you're going through transients. Rocket is changing. Dude, a lot of things are changing very, very quickly. You're changing variables, right? You're changing the mass of the vehicle. You're changing the temperature of the vehicle. You're changing pressures inside of the tank. And because you're changing temperatures and pressures inside of the tank, the rocket can expand and contract. Well, it's freezing, so it actually contracts if you're using cryogenic propellants. Gotta be careful. That's the dangerous part. Standing next to a fully fueled rocket isn't a big deal. NASA's been doing that for years. The space shuttle was always fully fueled before they put the crew in. Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it, Kelly. Yeah, I think you're right. So that's another thing that needs to be looked at to create the airliner spaceflight tempo. It's something that should be researched and well understood, Hellfish, just how, you know, they fuel up jet planes when people are boarding all the time. Like, fueling cryogenic propellants is dangerous, but if the technology readiness level is there and the behavior is well understood, I don't think it's going to be an issue. In fact, right there is the reason why I think SpaceX is so damn focused on trying to do fast fueling with their vehicles. They're trying to do fast fueling with the vehicles because they want to mature the fueling technology to a level where you can stand next to it when it's being fueled because the behavior is well understood. I mean, look at SpaceX's fueling apparatus. Subcoolers, methane scavengers. Like, I think that is all in the name of trying to make Starship turnaround time a lot faster and a lot safer. Just putting it out there. Like, you could see what they're trying to do. It's like me with this farm. You can see exactly what I'm trying to do here. Like, if an experienced workers and resources player looks at this, they're going to know what I'm doing. It's pretty straightforward stuff, especially if you can see the blueprint, right? Someone's going to look at that and know exactly what I'm building towards. It makes a lot of sense. I thought it was just Russians being Russians. Now, I will say this. Russians can stand a lot closer to the vehicle. They stand a lot closer to the vehicle than we can, but I think that we don't. That's just because Soyuz is so ridiculously technologically mature. You know what's going to happen. You know if the rocket engine's light and it leaves the pad that it's pretty much going to work. So they stand next to it. Something that you would never see from us. But hopefully we could get to that day. I mean, Soyuz still is the most launched rocket of all time. It's not even close. Soyuz has like 2,000 launches. Easily 2,000. Falcon's at like 250 or something. It's a very matured piece of technology, you know? Yeah, that too, Hellfish. So far, yeah. Yeah, after today, who knows? Anyway. We can talk more about this when they go to launch. Yeah, that's why I think SpaceX is focusing on fast filling. Because if you can fill up a 10,000 gallon rocket in 30 minutes, I think you've understood the fueling procedures pretty dang well. Isn't Angara DOA? No. Why would it be? From a technology level, I suppose it's outdated compared to like Falcon 9 or something, but here's the thing. The Russian Ministry of Defense wants a domestic rocket. And if the state's going to create the market, it ain't DOA, just like Ariane 6. State's creating that market. So, how long do you think until someone beats Soyuz in terms of launch count? Well, if anything's going to do it, it's Falcon. And if Falcon doesn't do it, Soyuz, or not Soyuz, if Falcon doesn't do it, Starship will. Yeah. Oh, Force, that's part of the reason why people are like, oh, you know, ULA shouldn't exist, ULA shouldn't. What are you, nuts? You'd be stupid to have one rocket. launching into space? How is that? How is having less rockets launching into space better for the industry? That's like, dude. Once again, it's like, you ever see those memes of the people that have like a jungle gym, like a playground in their head, and they're like, you know, it's like, yeah, less rockets are better. Like, no, all right, no, not really. I don't know why you would say that, but all right. Yeah, you know, it's like, what are you talking about, man? What are you, crazy? Okay, all the raw materials are delivered. Question, does moving around propellant create static? Don't know. I mean, I'm sure. Flagon, I don't know, but I do know enough about this to say that most of the fueling infrastructure is probably grounded. It's probably grounded out on purpose or on an isolator. Or not an isolator, an insulator. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure you'd want to be, you would want to be very sure about, you know, that kind of thing. You know? I mean, I'm no doctor, but it was like one clean punch. Crap, man, look at that. That's like his stomach blood on the ground back there. Hey, Ismic, my day's going good. Why aren't they sowing these fields? Too late for sowing. Winter is coming. Oh. Well, they're already doing it. I didn't have enough tractors to get all 29 fields. We got 25 this time. Okay. Have a great stream. If you're streaming late, I'll catch up. All right. Yeah, we'll probably go a little bit. I got to make up for the fact that I missed 2 hours today.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Sitco. Welcome to Mission Control. Your go at throttle up. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. How's my grain train doing? Oh, wow. We've run out of crops pretty fast, friend. We really have to make sure the harvest for 63, we get all of this. Or else, yeah, we're not going to be able to export in bulk like what we were. Have you ever tried DSP? Yeah, Lori, I've played Dyson before. Yeah. I don't like... That game is on my list of games that I try to avoid because it's addicting. I can't get addicted to too many games. My life will fall apart very, very quickly. You know? I like video games. I'm good at playing video games. So I gotta be careful. So if I get addicted to too many video games, I'll forget to eat. Just telling it like it is. You need to put monuments around so we can have easy... Ugh! Accents? Yeah. Anyway, Sitco, thanks for that sub, buddy. Appreciate it. MJ? Oh, come on, just a little candy won't hurt you. Huh? Sitco, been looking for a while. Didn't feel like waiting for my Prime to be freed up. Been enjoying every stream. Well, thanks. I really appreciate it. Tier subs help me immensely, dude. Like Prime subs are still 50-50 split. But the tier subs, because I'm in Partner Plus, 70-30 content creator split. So that's a really, really good way. That's a really awesome way of helping me out. Yeah, definitely thank you. I really appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, thank you very much. It's snowing in Wisconsin today. It snowed in Massachusetts, dude. Not near me, though. Here's an interesting thought. If they catch a booster super heavy while it's hovering, that would imply there's some propellant left. If there's still some propellant left, wouldn't that mean they're still chilled, or at least much closer to the final fueled temperature? Wouldn't that make for fewer, or at least more manageable transients? Yeah, Uncle Lex, I mean, that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, it sounds right. I think that it's much, I mean, SpaceX looks at the big picture. I think this is all stuff, these are all problems that need to be solved, right? It's all stuff that needs to be solved for SpaceX to achieve rapid reuse, right? Managing transients a lot better is something that you need if you're going to be able to launch Starship every day. That's something you need to understand for boarding crew, etc., right? So I think, you know, like, every time they fill this thing, you're getting more data on it. And yeah, that helps. Every Starship flights, every wet dress rehearsal, you're going to learn something about managing transients. It's just kind of inherent to how Starship is built from a systems engineering standpoint. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, I'm not sure about that specific instance, but that sounds right. You know, it's much more about how it's implemented from a programmatic level. Like, you know, Starship, if Starship's designed to be a 747, well, then your stakeholder expectation is how long does a 747 take to fill? Right? This is how SpaceX thinks. 747 can be filled up in half hour. So why can't our rocket be filled up in a half hour? Right? If that's our benchmark. Right? That's, you know, they're using the airline industry as their benchmark for their stakeholder expectations. It's not, you know, we're going to launch this once a year, so, you know, we don't need to fuel it all the time. We can do one wet dress rehearsal or 2 or 3, and then we're good to go, right? And then, you know, fueling should be fine every time. Fueling takes like 4 or 5 hours, right? It's not a big deal because, you know, it's a rocket, not, you know, not something that's supposed to be the 747 of spacecraft, right? So I think through their stakeholder expectations, they're solving these problems that we wouldn't just frankly think about. And that's the point that I always try to make when we talk about SpaceX, right? Dude, they are doing stuff like that. They're knocking problems out left and right. Like freaking Tyson in the ring. Like what I hope he does when he fights Jake Paul. Sorry. No, that should be a good fight. Anyway, like they're just squashing these problems. Like what makes me so happy about SpaceX is that they're not sitting there going, oh yeah, that fueling is going to be a problem. We really need to think about that. No. It's not like that. It's, if we want our thing to work like a 747, we need to figure out a way to fuel it like one. Right? It's like, it's not like, oh, these are going to be problems. It's like, oh, we got to solve these problems. I think there's a very distinct difference there. That's why SpaceX gets stuff done, because they have a can-do attitude. It's just another thing that you got to figure out. You know, NASA's like, oh, propellant transfer, no. Everybody's like, oh, propellant transfer, no. Like, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. SpaceX doesn't see that as an insurmountable thing. You're telling me we can't move cryogenic propellants around in microgravity? What, can a human not piss on the ISS? That's not cryogenic propellants, but that's fluid transfer. You know, if you're an astronaut, you have no problem pissing in the damn toilet. I don't see why you can't move fluids around in a spacecraft. Obviously, you can. But, you know, the way they look at it is like, oh, you know, this is this problem. It needs to be well tested. It needs to be well done. We got to. But SpaceX is just like, all right, on-orbit refueling is just part of our architecture. We got to figure that out, and we got to, or else we're not going to be able to deliver what we promised. It's just another thing, just another bug to squash, another problem to overcome. That can-do attitude is what you need to land people on the moon. That's why I like intuitive machines so much, dude. Because Steve Altemus and Tim Crane didn't go up on that press conference and say, oh, yeah, it tipped over. We had some problems with our TPS reports, blah, blah. No, they went up there and said, look, we screwed up some things. This is our first time doing this. We screwed up some things, but we refuse to accept failure of this mission. We're gonna get that damn thing to the surface. And then they did. They willed that damn lander to the surface of surface of the moon. Just through straight grit. They brute forced it. That's what you need to do. And I think there's a fine line between, not a fine line, I think there's a really actually good demarked line between, people confuse that for Go Fever and stuff. No, it's not the same thing. You have to be confident about your system, right? But you're always going to assume some risk. If you're not confident about solving the problem, it's not going to get solved. Why do you think we're stuck in low Earth orbit with the shuttle for 30 years? You have to have that can-do attitude, right? Like, and I'm not saying you were saying that, but yeah, I think, you know, going back to, you know, pulling this all back in. Sorry, I kind of went on a little bit of a there for a second. You know, I don't think SpaceX considers transients to be that big of a deal. They're just methodically going to knock out every potential flag that happens from fuel, you know, transient fueling. Every time they fuel, they learn something new, right? And SpaceX fuels up rockets a lot. They're going to fuel up Ship 29 very soon. Oh, that's not a good idea. SpaceX, how do we make it a good idea? Bingo. That's why I love the guys at Intuitive Machines so much, because they were like that. You should be running the whole damn thing, dude. That's what you need. That's some Gene Kranz and Chris Kraft stuff going on there, man. That's that kind of mentality and being able to adapt on the fly in mission control. That's how we got Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, and Jack Swigert home in 1970. You have to be able to account for those curveballs. But if you don't have confidence in your system in the first place, when that curveball comes, you're going to strike out. Can't be like that. Why did the shuttle always fly with crew? Because the way they envisioned it was that it was going to be a plane that just flies into space, something analogous to a C-17 that can make it up there. That's it. That's why you flew with crew. Guys, I think there's something to, like, I think there's something to manually flying stuff. To be honest with you, I like that people flew the shuttle. I do. I really like that people had to fly that thing around, especially during entry, descent, and landing. That's when I want a human in the loop, you know? You don't want the shuttle landing on autopilot. I mean, yeah, dude, you could write a good algorithm to it, but having a human on board that can fly the thing and take manual control if needed is always, that's a great redundancy. We like when you go on these tangents. I'm just imagining a world where rapidly reusing many super heavy boosters spend most of the time at cryogenic temps. Yeah. I'm sure SpaceX is thinking about it, dude. Right? And I'm sure they're thinking about it, and they're probably going ham on that problem. That's just one of 1,000 freaking things that company cranks out. Right? But the whole mentality, dude, the whole mentality is we can do it. Oh yeah, we'll do it. It's not a problem. We'll figure it out. All good. As long as we're not talking about like quantum entanglement here, SpaceX probably has the chops to get it done. That's why I like them so much. I really insist that NASA should be this way too, but let's not go down that road. Let's go down this road over here and see if these farms are actually growing. Yep. Excellent. How's this bridge coming along? Good. Just need some people out there. The reason why I'm building another bridge here is because I'm demolishing that one, because I want to build a train bridge over here. I don't necessarily know why we would need a train track right away over here. But, you know, I never have to build these tracks. It's just better to have the right of way just in case. I can't tell you how many times with Spaghetsoft I did not build in the future proofing for a right of way for train tracks, and we suffered because of it. So, why not? Well, Chris, old school NASA had that mentality, but part of it was that, you know, the politicians were hands off with it. And that's why I said I don't want to go down that road, because we all know where that argument goes. But then again, James Webb is a great politician. Part of that is his, you know, during the Apollo program, he knew to be hands off with his engineers. I think a politician should be running NASA. But status quo stuff is what's killing us right now. NASA needs to get back to doing stuff like SpaceX. Logistics just keeps blowing my mind. I placed an order for car parts on Monday, shipped from Poland to Sweden to Germany to Kentucky to Minnesota, and it's on my doorstep 3 days later. Logistics is king, baby. That's why I love this game so much. It scratches the logistics itch so well. It's actually nuts. Jens, what did you just say? I never understood why more launch complexes don't use rail to move rockets. Fish, for heavy launch vehicles, well, ULA does. ULA uses trackmobiles. The Russians use rail to move their rockets around because Russia has a pretty damn good rail network throughout their country. They don't have a highway system. And if they do, it's not very good. Most of the roads are kind of like Route 66, I guess. That would be minus the, you know, cool culture of it. A lot of gravel roads. The reason why is most of Russia's terrain is unforgiving. You got to think about like 70% of that country is basically Alaska. Dude, we don't have a highway. We don't have paved highways in Alaska. The Alcan Highway is still a dirt road. Because building highways around somewhere where you get permafrost is a really difficult engineering problem and not worth it. The environment will destroy a road in a year. Like less than a year. So the Russians, the Soviet Union and then the Russians after that became insanely reliant on trains. Trains move everything around. And because the distances are so vast, well, trains moving freight, rocket parts, over long distances, because you can't move it by truck and you can't do what we do and move it by boat. Trains are the best way to move their infrastructure around. That's why all of their rockets use trains to move things around. Because from the time that thing leaves a Soyuz rocket, for instance, from the time that thing leaves a factory all the way out to Baikonur, that's a long way. That would be like building your rockets in Utah and shipping them to Florida. Oh yeah, they do that by train. That's weird. That's also the reason why most Russian rockets have a common core diameter, because you can't build a bigger core on a damn train. The last time they tried to do that, they had trouble. The last time the Soviets tried to move a heavy lift launch vehicle, last time they did that, they had to move the gigantic 8.4 meter cores via plane, because there's no way you're getting this out to Baikonur. Not a chance. You ain't getting that out to Baikonur on a train. That's like four railroad tracks wide. No chance. So the Russians move a lot of their rockets by trains because most of their infrastructure in that country is moved around by a train, just like most of the rest of Europe, right? Now we can use boats because of the Mississippi River, because of the Gulf of Mexico. We can use boats to move heavy lift launch vehicles around. I would argue that ability alone, you know, is one of the reasons why we won the space race. Because the Russians had to build the rocket in Moscow, where their engineering base was. ship it in pieces to Baikonur, have those same engineers fly out to Baikonur, put the stupid thing together, assemble, like physically assemble the rocket. I'm not talking integration. I'm talking about actually shipping the damn thing. The Atlant shipped Buran in pieces. The plane couldn't move around the entire shuttle. That's what the 225 was for. See that right there? That looks like a whole Energia core stage. That's just the hydrogen tank. They actually had to assemble it, take it apart, put it in pieces on the plane, put it back together in Baikonur, integrate the thing, put a payload on it, and send it. That industrial pipeline is awful. It's awful. That's absolutely horrid. I'm amazed they even did it. I also want that truck. But see what I'm talking about? Look, that's just the interstage right there. That's just the core stage interstage with the mounts for the Zenit boosters, right? So they had to build the damn thing, take it apart in Moscow, put it in pieces on planes and whatever they could on trains, put it back together in Baikonur, and then integrate it, and then launch the damn thing. How did they launch anything? The fact that they got an N1 off the ground, and then Buran Energia and Energia Polius, the fact that they even got anything like that to work is mind-boggling. And they were playing this game doing that, which is, like, once again, this is an idiotic idea. Like, collectivization is stupid, but the fact that they were able to do it is pretty damn impressive. It's like if you have a garden in your backyard and you make things out of the dirt is, you try to plant stuff in the sand, and then despite your best efforts of trying to kill all the plants, it still grows. It's pretty damn impressive. What I'm asking is, could they have tested the shuttle harder without risking people? Sure, Oforce. Yeah. I think they meant moving things around the launch complex, like using rail instead of a crawler. Oh. Well, it's still my response was still applicable. Why don't we do it in Florida? It'd sink into the ground. That's a big one. That's a much more simple answer than what I said. It would sink into the ground. Yeah. Moving super heavy launch vehicles via rail like the Russians do? Yeah, it'd sink into the ground. Yeah, that's why they use the crawler. And even the crawler sinks into the ground. The thing is, instead of sinking into the ground, it crushes rocks. Think of it like an ablative crawlerway. They have to replace the rocks in the crawlerway after 4 or 5 crawls, or else it'll start sinking into the ground. Turns out when you're moving 15 million pounds of launch vehicle and rocket around in a swamp, it could sink. And it does. That's the reason why they use the crawler in the first place, because tracked vehicles the best way to move that around in a swamp. Fun fact. Yeah, the roads, Highway 4 got destroyed because they're moving trucks up and down. Guys, trucks destroy roads. There's a reason why roads have weight limits. Trucks absolutely obliterate roads. Semi-trucks, construction equipment. Oh, absolutely obliterate roads. Like, I'm really happy this game doesn't have any road maintenance in it, or else we'd be screwed. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reactivate my road labor lines here, and I'm going to get the track builder out, and while we don't have anything to build, well, we don't have anything to export because the grain silo's empty, I'm going to have him build out the rest of the loop. They constantly replenish it, Jens. Yeah. Oh, nice, Forge. Yeah. Anyway, Jens, you typed out a paragraph a second ago. Sorry, I started reading it, but I got caught up in other questions. I'm not in the know when it comes to American tech, or let alone space programs agencies, but I'm pretty sure NASA is following a set of rules they adhered to through its years of experience and expertise from the Cold War up into this day. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but what I'm trying to point out with this is that they have become victims to themselves in a certain way. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of status quo stuff, dude. Status quo stuff with government doesn't really jive very well. Those two things don't work very well. Look, this is a good example. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to adapt. NASA didn't adapt. That's Mostly because they've everything that NASA does, Jens, they're fighting with one arm tied behind their back. The problem is that they aren't following their own rules. Aqualex, do you think I like going on here? Like, don't get me wrong, you're right. I'm agreeing with you. Just, I'm trying to put it into an explanation in my own way. Do you think I like coming on here and talking bad about NASA? I don't do that because NASA's personally offended me in any way or something. I do that because you ain't following their own rules. And the rules that you wrote for systems engineering in particular were written in blood. I don't take that lightly. I don't like sitting here and saying NASA's being stupid when it comes to this. I really don't like it. I don't like doing it, and I don't feel comfortable doing it. And frankly, it's not good content. I say it because I have to. Like, NASA needs parity with SpaceX. They need anything that SpaceX can do, NASA needs to be able to duplicate. I'm sorry, they need to. It's just a fact. I don't really care if people disagree. It's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, we're not angry, we're disappointed. I want Apollo NASA back. People are going down. I could have sworn it was 6,300. That could be because buildings are... Hold on. No, it would show up right there. Shelbert, it would show up. The happiness we would have more than death of a child unable to visit a hospital. Yeah, we would have more than that. I don't think we activated the city yet. If we activated the city now, we got a big problem. Thank you for noticing, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, blaming safety for delays all systems is probably one of the most disgusting things that you could do as the head of NASA. It's disgusting. That is disgusting behavior. Like, dude, you heard the crack in my voice? It pisses me off so much. That's gross. Dude, that was such a bad look for NASA. It just made me so freaking mad. Like, I don't, dude, guys, I don't want to talk about it. Let me go back to playing the game. I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna get mad. I don't feel like choosing violence today. You know what I mean? Please don't make me do that. Please, let the hate flow you. Makes you stronger, gives you focus. Anyway, 6175. Yeah, just keep an eye on that number. We would start seeing happiness go in the toilet there if we activated it, but we'll check. Okay. We can talk more about that during Space News. If we're gonna get angry about that, that's the time to do it. But I don't want to. What we need right now, let's dial ourselves back in. Take it down a notch, dial it back in. Not that I cost, get together, have a few laughs. I don't feel like getting riled up today. I don't want to do that. Check your last mark, please. He's right, you're losing people. Yeah. That's because I'm not... I mean, people will eventually... even if the city's not activated. Like, I don't... See, here's the thing, guys. Could we go out here and start building things? But I don't know how we're going to get electricity, plumbing, everything to these people without spending millions of dollars. If anybody's got a bright idea to prevent that from happening, that would be great. But I don't know how to do it. Like, that's something I haven't really figured out. The only logical way that I've thought about doing this is just building up capital so you can make a nice city and then move everybody into that city. Green energy. I don't have green energy unlocked. I can't make wind turbines. You have to unlock it in the technical office, which means I'm back to square one logically with getting this city activated. Gulag labor. You need to research it, believe it or not. You got to research secret police. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in a logic loop here. Green energy is uranium. Yeah, like actually. Maybe we need to push to activate this city. Maybe we need to activate it on a smaller scale. Like, this city eventually needs a population of 1,200. We need a city to be able to feed the, to be able to supply the food and the food factory and distillery, so we can generally get away from moving crops, right? And get more into exporting food and stuff. Which, that's part of the reason why I left this area and part of this area open, because eventually I'm going to need a warehouse, right, that has access to the trains, so we can start exporting food with the trains in bulk. It's part of the reason why I ran the tracks out here, why I made another right of way. I don't know, Sea Kraken. Yeah. Just invade your neighbors and steal their citizens. I mean, the jobs need to be available before you activate the city. Yeah. So, we could activate this city on a smaller scale if we want. But that means I need water. I have the drainage. Drainage is ready to go. I mean, to an extent. I would want that septic tank ready to go. What are they going to need? They're going to need a school. I have the big shopping center planned, so we could grow into that, right? I have that figured out. What else? We would need culture. They need to enjoy culture, so they have this right here covers food, meat, electronics, and clothes. But now we're importing, right? If we activate this on a small scale. But if we activate it on a small scale, importing's not that big of a deal. We're gonna need a school, right? That's the other thing we need. Everything. We have a kindergarten, we need a school, they need a sporting hall, and they need culture. We could put a pub in, but importing alcohol is expensive. We need a hospital, we need a fire station. This game seems so slow. Cavity, it's slow if you turn the difficulty settings up. I'm playing on maximum difficulty because I like doing that. Because I'm a masochist when it comes to playing video games. But I don't just like, simultaneously, I don't just like playing difficult games because they're difficult. I like playing games that puzzle, like, call it a puzzle game, I guess, you know? I've got some culture for you. Oh, non-dairy. So, I have drainage figured out. I never did the electrical wiring for this place. We got to figure that out. And maybe we could get the city activated on a small scale, right? We have enough population here to support, like, school, kindergarten, technical university, some culture here and there, right? In fact, it's probably a good idea to get that going, get that going, get that going, get that going, get that going. And, oh, it says there's no connection there. Yeah, that's right. I just undid all the connections here. No connection. We don't need that. Get a bus stop in the center of the city. I have a bus stop right there. Bus platform. They still need a school. We need a, but we don't need a big one, just a small school. Can we fit one right by the roundabout? Oh yeah. that can be reached pretty much everywhere. Okay, good. So there's a small school, but see, once again, it's going to... Stuff like that is fine. They're gonna need some sporting, a sport monument or something. You could put a basketball court right next to the church. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so kindergarten, we got a school. I requisitioned this area for monuments and parking lots in case we go car-centric, but I also figured in a bus station. What are we gonna need to do? Okay, here's the thing that we should do. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that connection, temporarily, get rid of that. And now we got to go into footpaths. Get rid of the footpaths. Get rid of that. 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 What I'm trying to do is get all the segments out of this road. The reason why, see all these little doodabs here? Still some footpath. There's several footpaths in the way. The Plamps rub against the Chumbles, and Plubus and Grumbo is shaved away. That leaves you with a regular old Plumbus. You have a tool for managing the segments. Yeah, a tool that I don't understand how to use. Is the end of that sentence. Alright, so first thing we'll do, just like a housing development or something, I'll tell them to just make that road. That's it. And then I'll assign labor to it right there as well. Actually, you know what? Cancel that for a second. Same thing here. And we'll make that. We'll pave that segment first because that connects into it. How do we merge the segments? Please read my chat. Tag me and I will. Get an indoor pool instead of a basketball court. They can use it in winter. Oh, I can't fit an indoor pool where I put that court, but I will. Double click on a segment. Oh, I got it. That one won't go for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, see, there was a little bit of footpath hiding there. I didn't see it. But that's okay. There we go. Now hook up all the footpaths. Oh, no. Actually, don't do that just yet. That road we have to tell them to make. So make that one. And then assign the labor to it right there. There we go. We got to be careful because we're not making any money right now. Because we're not harvesting. Right? The grain train isn't doing anything. The horizontal line with the circle. I get you. Cool. Alright, we'll get them to do their thing there in a second. Do they have electricity? I do not have electricity wired. We can do that now, though. Shut up. Shut up. This is fine. You shut up. All right. Illness, how you doing, dude? Everything good? Face it well, please. That could have been better done, but we'll commit that. I like to keep my wires nice and clean. You remind me of Kenny from the Walking Dead game series by Telltale. Is that a good thing? Excuse me for a second. Might work. I doubt they're gonna get there in time. Yeah, I didn't notice because I was focusing on what I was doing. I just hope I can get all the trucks out, because if the building burns down with all the trucks in the construction depot, you lose them. I cannot lose trucks right now. Can Big Dog put it out? I think we'd have a better bet with the fire trucks. Okay, one crane truck. No, 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 get out. Crap. Get out, get out, get out. Oh, there's a fire, get it out. Where are you going? Don't drive into it. What are you doing? Alright, you can drive away from it, that's cool. Okay, you, that's somebody's house. Okay, you must be on fire or something. Alright. Well, we got all the trucks out. What are you gonna do? Yeah, just in time. Yep, just turn around. Yeah, that was my bad. If I'd been probably 30 seconds earlier, it would have been okay. Yeah, that was my fault. But it's okay. I mean, we're just down on construction capability, but I don't feel, you know, really shouldn't spend much money right now. Anyway, so it's not that big of a problem. I'll see if I have extra free construction offices, and we do. Okay. Right racing. What is that, geek? Cool. All right. I have, we're using these as a spare. I mean, I don't know if I had, so 4, 8, 12. I think these are
Discovery, go at throttle.
Hey, Sci-Fi. 36 months. What is the cost of crops at the border right now? 2066. We've deflated the price a little bit. 1768. It would be better to trade crops on the dollar, but we do need rubles as well. I was gonna say, just flip the train around. Yeah, we gotta be careful, dudes. We don't want to deflate the price too much. If you start exporting resources in bulk, you can only do it for so much before the unit price goes to nothing. Don't worry, that'll get rebuilt real quick. If I like the good thing is that if I had noticed it, those fire trucks can get anywhere in time. We just got to notice the damn thing. They're not gonna. I wonder if I can adjust their auto detect range. No. Careful here. We need one of those. And I think that's it. Just get another garbage truck here. That's just a technical office. Can we put an in the middle of the roundabout? Eventually, sure. Can you research fire safety for less fires? You need a technical university to do it. Which means I need to get back to getting electrical figured out here. There we go. Cool. Actually, fire safety is party HQ. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're not wrong. So I'm gonna run the lines down here, but I'm only gonna run 4 of them down here. I'm gonna leave that extra line right there in case we want to run power to something up here. I did flatten terrain right here, so we can run power that way. I mean, I do have connections up there, so. Excuse me, one launch in about 55 minutes. Might be better to... I mean, I have electrical connections up there. We could just run it into this. And that should be hooked up as long as I don't have that thing attached telling it to import or export power, right? Should be okay. Yeah, we have CRS-30, commercial resupply mission. First Dragon 2 launch from Pad 40. It's in about an hour. Do you remember the study to use Dragon to service Hubble? Does that even make sense now that we have Starship? In the long run, no. But RJ, think about it like this. Using Dragon to service satellites will teach some valuable lessons for when you go to do that with Starship. Iterative. Remember, SpaceX, there's steps, right? Steps to this process. So, dude, I'm telling you, this is what Elon does, and this is why he usually, like, he thinks about it differently. He thinks about it backwards, right? So this is what I want over here, right? I want Starship. Starship is a fully rapidly reusable launch vehicle. It's like a 747. So because it's like a 747, you know, a 747 can do anything. 747 could carry a shuttle, right? Like, Boeing built something amazing, and then you could do a bunch of different things with it. That's the expectation that they're working with. However, you know, it's like, okay, what do we need to learn how to do if we want this thing to do everything that, say, the space shuttle does and more, right? Satellite servicing, we need to figure out how to do that. We need to figure out how to do propulsive landings. We need to figure out how to build a good thermal protection system. We need to figure out how to rapidly reintegrate it. We need to figure out better fueling practices, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you're not going to start with those from square one. If you do, you're going to do something like Blue Origin. It's going to take decades. Blue Origin just went from suborbital right to super heavy launch, right? And it's taken a long time. And don't get me wrong, if you have the chops and the money, you can do that. But SpaceX has been building rapid progress over time, right? They're building rapid progress over time. So use Falcon to figure that out. They used Falcon to figure out how to do propulsive landing. They used Falcon to figure out how to, like, a good way to reuse a spacecraft, reuse fairings, right? Potentially service satellites. SpaceX is going to use Dragon to figure out basically unlock all the knowledge that you would need to make Starship do that a lot faster. It's an iterative step. It's their whole iterative design philosophy in a nutshell. That makes sense, dude? Yeah, oil prices are going down. So I think I'm gonna take the fifth line right here. Like, actually, I'm wondering. Is that substation built? It's not. It needs labor. Okay. Get up there, build out that substation. Let me just put down a substation here. They're all in range. So, you know what? I'm just going to leave that fifth line open just in case I want to build something else. So we'll go here, commit that. We'll commit the 4 lines down to here. And then what I'll do is put in an electrical substation right here. Put it with all the rest of my utilities. And we will take one of the lines. That. There. And now what I'll do is we'll commit that and we commit that on pause. And then we also got to put labor on that and that. There we go. Cool. Good. What are your thoughts about deep sea diving? Like humans up to 300 meters below sea level. That's cool. Not where it sparks joy in my heart, but it's cool. All right, it's almost time to harvest, dudes. What I'm going to do is we have tractors in here. Oh, those tractors are out fertilizing, huh? Let me see if we can find 4 tractors that are idling. Take you. Go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now take these 4. Commit them to the farm. That's just a road depot. Those are distros, so those will help with the harvest. But these trucks are in just a road depot. I can't tell a road depot to commit to a harvest. So I put the tractors in that road depot, and I put the trucks in that road depot. You know, in the spring, we commit the tractors to the farm. And then in the fall, we commit the trucks to the farm so they can help with the harvest. Because we're almost ready to go here. Growing process is at 93 on the first fields. For whatever reason, they didn't sow these fields. I think we ran out of time. I think I'm going to need more tractors if we do that, but... Yeah, Helios, it did a good job. NSF is online for SpaceX 30. Okay. Okay, cool. So... what I was working on here is getting us ready to go to get this city up on a small scale so we can do technical university research. What I'm going to do this time is not tech exactly to like refinery or something. What I want to try, and this is just, we'll just try it. I don't know if it's going to work. This is kind of a little bit different, but it's something, it's not, I'm not changing the farm strategy. We're still going to do that. What I'm wondering is if, you know, say we get solar power, right? You know, with solar power, we could get the other cities activated, right? And if we get the other cities activated, you know, we won't hemorrhage off labor, first of all, but we could build out a lot faster. My problem in the past is going from getting one city ready to go to getting another one. In fact, that's right when Nyakigrad folded because I didn't know how to activate a city correctly. Like, I'm wondering if we could get bare minimums set up somehow. And, I don't know, maybe just have a farm or something. You removed the bus stop. Yeah, yes I did. Because we need to rebuild the road. The road that the bus stop was attached to. Yeah, I'll put it back, don't worry. So we got wind and solar. What about water? We could do water via a distribution network. Most of these are near water. We could build a loading and unloading depot. But we're still going to need drainage and stuff. You know? Like, maybe we could go back over to Hubarki, or Herbaki, right? And we could get crude going. Like what we did. Man, that's where my distribution depot was for Nyakigrad. You like doing car centricism in this game? Yeah, it's pretty rad. Maybe we don't need to expand out that far, you know? Like, maybe we shouldn't go that far. But, maybe we'll expand this way. Like, plenty of place for farmland out here. Plenty of place for forestry and stuff too. We just need to build the infrastructure for it. Solar still needs a connection with a power plant or foreign powers, or else during nights blackouts are going to happen. There's no battery in this game, huh? Okay. Big Dog Island needs electricity. Maybe that's where we should start, Caffey. Getting Big Dog. How much are boards for exporting? Don't know. $7 a pop. What would probably be a good idea is to set up every village to do something a little different. We talked about having factory-centric stuff. So, like, we could take to Lovey, right? And we could, I don't know, make it concrete. Make it a concrete plant. And then, you know, If we build a highway out there, the trucks could just drive to it and drive back. Yeah, the map's gigantic. Yeah, it's just really a question of getting the infrastructure out there. Like, how are we going to do that? Anyway. Guys, I'm going to... Actually, no. We'll wait a little bit longer. Till we switch over to CRS-30. Unless NASA has started their coverage. But, yeah. Yeah, Vioskovice. I might move these people around because this is like a village of maybe 20 people. Like, I'm not entirely sure what I would have these people do, you know? There's also Vilest right here. We could build more farms out here. Well, it's not really flat. But you don't need... Farms don't necessarily need to be on flat terrain. I'd like to see you do cities all over the map. I'm just not sure. Violent, my big problem with that is, like, how are we going to... Monetarily, how are we going to do that? I need a cash cow to be able to expand. Because now I got to be careful. I don't want to take a loan. But then again, taking out loans in the earlier parts of the game is better because debt is a hedge against inflation, you know? So it might not be, that might not be the worst idea. Just saying. We already paid for all this construction equipment, and building more stuff out now would probably be smarter to do, you know? But I gotta be careful, like, exporting bricks is a good idea if you're doing coal and power. Bricks. Yeah, 26 a pop. There's inflation in this game. There's inflation, there's supply and demand, Jens. Yeah. So, like, crops were trading at 21 bucks a pop, and because I exported a couple thousand tons of grain, crops are now down to 20. See what I'm talking about? You can devalue and value the price of... You can devalue and revalue the price of goods. Gotta be careful. Sooner it's built, sooner it's paid out. Yeah, but Poison, I always get myself into this bind here. Like... Like, let's just click that for a second. Payment is 32 G's. There's no way I'm able to swing 32 G's. There's no way I can swing a 32 G a month payment. I don't think we should take out a loan if we're not good for it. Buy and resell electronics. Only one loan and then forget they exist. Just one loan, bro, please. I gotta figure out how to do that. You guys gotta teach me. So wind power is the key to activate the map. Noted. Wind ain't always blowing. It's just setting up the infrastructure, Caffey. That's the big one. That's the tough part. So I need to build the highway over to Viskovice, right? We need to do that. It would be very good if eventually we were able to connect the infrastructure into Rodendilna here. Oh, you have... That's a huge border crossing. That could be useful. Like getting the highway over here? Probably a good idea. Yeah, wind power sucks in this game, dude. But then again, we could use trains. Yeah, Shalbert, we need the income. I think focusing on here for the first couple of years, or the next couple of years, is a good idea. We need the money. But then again, it's like, it's a double-edged sword. We need the money because building the infrastructure right now is the right move. Because it's just going to get more expensive to make. Like, whatever you make now, it's going to pay for itself over time. Like that highway. That's why I opted to build that big freaking highway first, right? Because the throughput that it gives me down here to this area really is helping me, right? You know, you can get goods in and out. We can get building materials down here really, really quick, right? But we don't have the money to build a highway all the way out here. I don't have the money to do it. We're talking about when would be the right time to expand, King, but we got a rocket launch here, so we'll play this till half past, and then we'll go. Like, if we want to do this right, I need water, we need drainage, we need electricity, and we need a highway or a train station. That's how it's got to be. It's got to be one of those. And personally, I hate that these train tracks are a wobbly mess. I want to build my tracks for speed. So we'd build it more like high-speed rail. And I already noticed something that we could do to fix that. The big thing that would make the most sense to transfer over long distances, guys, is electricity. So we need electricity, road, and train tracks. Because if we get those three connecting everything together, then we're good. Like, we'll be sitting pretty here, but you know, one thing we got to do is build a bridge to cross this damn valley here.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, Stegen. Thanks for the 33, buddy. All I see is a dam in that. Yeah, hydroelectric would be useful. But see, you know, before I get into a bulldozer sculpting rampage, like, what's the purpose of this highway? What does it do? A good thing for this highway to do would be to connect to Rodendilna. But why? What's the point? Why are we doing that? Yeah, we get another entrance. That's great. You have another border. That's good. What is that? How does that help? Oh, we may have lost people because of the epidemic. Or the pandemic, or the... Yeah. Plan out coal? I don't think there's any coal over here. There's coal right here. We do have coal up here. I actually don't know. I forget how big this deposit is. It's 56. There's a 56 deposit right there. I already have that marked. Where was that? That was over here. Not bad. $54. There's one right here. Any coal on the other side of this hill? No. Actually, just on a side note, well, I was gonna say we have gravel right here. There's two, like 80% gravel deposits right there. And that would be a good thing to connect into a rail line of sorts. But we need a rail line loading area. Like, I don't want to make the tracks go just down here. There's not enough space to grade it correctly. And yes, I make a big deal out of that. Sue me. Don't, please. I don't have any money. I wish I made that TikTok money. Ah. That 57% spot right here. Yeah. It would be good to build some... We could build... build a highway, and we could potentially build train tracks that go right to it. That's the thing with coal over here. That coal is up on top of a hill. And it's an okay deposit. It's not the best. What about oil? Where's the oil at? That's the closest to us. I think it might be over here. Right here. Oh, I had it for a second. Hey, Pie Guy. What's up, dude? Not a ton for once? Well, that's good. Good to see you, man. Yeah, getting coal set up is probably not the worst idea. Like, even if it's in limited capacity. Here, let me measure something. What's the distance? What distance are we talking about here to where the deposit is? Hang on, let me find where the deposit. Right? What distance are we talking here? They might be able to get at that by car. It's close. So 5,280 feet. So 2 miles is 10,520 feet. And what was the range in kilometers? 2.4 kilometers? Nope. Nope, too far. Damn. Nope, too far. Is there a village over here at all? Closest one would be Maladoc. There's not enough there to support a coal mine. Would you ride the slide at Slick 40? It'd be sketchy, but yeah, I would do that. Utilities don't make a lot of money, I know. Yeah, son, I know. You'd rather the rocket than the slide, but that's just you. Yeah, dude, I don't really have any particular reason to expand in the immediate area, guys. That's the big problem. The only reason would be like making a port. But even then. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need to do that just yet. Steel production is a good mid-game goal. Well, we would need the technical university. It's almost finished. Fertilizer is the big one. Fertilizer and fuel. Yeah, we need to get this running so I can get the tech university up. But simultaneously, we need to build all this out. Problem is, I just don't really have much cash to get it done. Nice. That thing got the second throughput there, so we'll eventually be able to buy another train. Good. Good, 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 good. Dingly, 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 ding. Any resources out here? I don't know if I've ever checked for oil out here. Nope. Coal? Nope. Oh. Ha. Well then. There's iron right there. There's iron right behind my construction depot. Or behind my sub. Yeah, once food is up, tech for steel. That'd be good. We're in range for the labor force there. I mean, that's gonna need to end up being a big city. Lazanynsk needs to be huge. Like, the city's gonna have to expand all the way over here. We have a decent coal supply right there. And then we have iron right there. The iron is standing right behind me, isn't it? I was gonna put farms there. Pay attention to the amount of pollution. The distances should be good, dude. The distances are fine here. That's a mile away. Well, no, it's not. It's... That's over a quarter mile away. Or a half mile away. Alright, well, something to think about. I still think we should follow through with the food stuff. We just have to get some capital to do it. And then maybe tech into that later. But getting this thing up and running on a small scale probably is a good idea. We need something working here before we rapidly expand it. You know, these people can work in the shops, in the schools, in the tech university. Like, basically what I wanted to do with Pastaberg. Okay. Alright, let's switch over to launch coverage, man. It's time for a launch. Rim world, more like rim won't. Got it. Sorry. CRS 30. SpaceX.